Reen, I don't know why you're giving me that much sass. I'm just starting the episode. Hey everybody, welcome back to more Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 2. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time we checked out around Ymir to make sure everything was a-okay, which it mostly is, after the Jaeger attack from 2 parts ago. This time, we'll be setting out to go and find our friends, but first, something I want to note that is outside of the story, but still in the game. As you complete certain parts of the game, the title screen will actually change a little bit. So before it was just, up until this point, it had been just Reen sleeping in the snow. Now it has progressed to Reen, Toval, and Celine looking out over the Isengard Range, Ymir Valley, that sort of area. But that's the only side note I wanted to go for. We are going to travel to the end of the valley.
Well, here we are.
Finally getting used to walking on this snow. The Divine Knight's exactly how you left him, too.
Thankfully. It wouldn't have surprised me if Vita had tried messing with him, but he looks just fine.
Speaking of, do you have any idea what she might be after? She knows Valimar is here, but as far as I can tell, she's not interested in stealing or destroying him. For now, anyway.
It's kinda weird when you think about it. He's probably one of the biggest threats to the Noble Alliance.
I've got no idea what goes on in that head of hers. But I'd say that there's a good chance her and the Noble Alliance's goals aren't as perfectly aligned as you might think. And if that's true, whatever she's doing is probably for the benefit of Ouroboros.
You said the Anguis are the top brass in the society, right, Toval? If she's that high up, I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case.
Well, whatever she wants. Can't see it being good news for us. They've been trouble all over the continent in the past. I dread to think what they've got in store here in Erebonia.
But, well, at least we've got time to stop them. Things could have ended a lot worse yesterday if not for Valimar's help. I can't even imagine the ways Ymir would have suffered if we didn't stop that magic knight. I'll need to thank him when he wakes up.
That will not be necessary.
Whoa!
Valimar?
I suppose one night was enough for you to recover a little bit of your mana. Not enough to freely move around, though, I'm guessing.
Correct. Further rest will be required in order to return to full capacity.
Okay, get as much rest as you need. We'll call on you if anything else happens, okay?
Acknowledged.
Wow, easy enough to communicate with him, huh? Then again, I think that one Gordius-class robot could technically talk too.
Is something wrong?
Oh, no, just thinking.
I sense a change has occurred in your group since I last entered a state of inactivity. Confirming the absence of the waveform of one member. Assuming that some form of irregularity has occurred.
Wait, is he talking about Elise?
Maybe. He appears to be aware of what's going on around him to an extent.
Valimar, we're gonna be leaving this region for a while. My sister and the princess have been taken away, and we're going to rescue them. Plus, I need to find and reunite with my classmates too. So take this chance to recover as long as you need, okay?
Classmates? I assume that this word refers to those who had aided you in overcoming the trial to become an Awakener.
Yeah, is that a big deal or something?
Valimar?
Confirming waveform locations. Excluding the Awakener of Azure, the remainder appear to be located in 3 different regions. All vital signs are normal.
Hold up a sec.
Does that mean you know where all of them are?
I see now. Do you remember when you overcame the trial to become Valimar's Awakener? Well, obviously, you weren't alone when you did that. You were with the rest of Class 7. And it sounds like, thanks to them being there with you, they've all been recognized as secondary contractors at the same time.
Oh! So that's how... Please, Valimar, tell me where they all are.
detecting approximate locations using geographical database. 3 are to the southeast in the Celdic region. 3 are to the northeast in the Nord region. 3 are to the south-southeast in the Legram region. This concludes a list of locations of all 9 secondary contractors. All vital signs appear normal.
Yep, that's all of them. That confirms my theory.
They're all okay. They're really okay.
I'm really happy for you. Though I sure wasn't expecting us to get confirmation of their safety quite like this.
Look at you crying away. And you call yourself a man.
Quiet, you.
Oh, come on. You can't pretend you aren't breathing a sigh of relief right along with us. This means Emma's safe too, you know.
Oh, I for one am definitely breathing a sigh of relief. Still, all 3 locations are a ways away from Ymir.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the Noble Alliance has got control of key locations all over the country on top of it all. On the plus side, they're all on the eastern side of the Empire, but getting to them ain't exactly gonna be a walk in Modder Park.
Oh, hey, wait! Valimar, can't you use the spirit path?
Affirmative. Doing so would consume all of my current mana, however.
Spirit Path?
What's that?
It's the name given to a really old means of travel. Using it will allow us to travel instantly to even distant locations.
Seriously?
How?
You know how there are still remnants of animism all across Erebonia, right? Well, places like that are connected to one another by spirit veins. Septium veins, in other words. And Valimar has the ability to use those veins to travel.
Yeah, that's kinda going over my head. But basically, you're saying it's like an invisible road that connects places like Legram to here or wherever else?
Exactly. The spirit path can only be used between areas where animism had a hold, though. The other drawback is that taking it will use up what little mana Valimar's been able to recover. Which means that until he's recovered enough to travel again, we won't be able to come back here.
I see. Personally, I can't think of any better options. I think we should give it a try. What do you think?
It sounds worth a shot to me. Now all that's left is to pick which place we should head to first.
Right. Celdic, the Nord Highlands, or Legram. I think Celdic is the closest to here. Maybe we should try heading there first?
Celdic, huh? I'm down. Should make a good test run for this whole spirit path deal.
All decided? Come with me then.
Right. The monument would have ties to animism.
This seems like a good enough spot. Are you both ready?
Ready.
Anytime.
Valimar, open the spirit path! Our destination is Celdic. I'll lend you all the support I can, too.
Acknowledged. Activating Spirit Path.
Whoa, hey! The ground's glowing!
What's this?
All right, here we go.
This is the spirit path? It's like nothing I've ever felt. It's both cool and warm at the same time. And at the end of this path, some of my classmates are waiting for me. ones, I don't know. But I'll find every single one of them. I'll bring us all back together, no matter what it takes.
Oh, hey, I know this place. It's the Naria Nature Park. Oh, so that's where we are. I knew this place looked kind of familiar. Must be in the deepest part of the forest, too. If I recall correctly, the Nature Park's about northwest of Celdic, right? Sounds right to me, but it's been a while since I was last here. We were sent here for our very first field study. I forgot how many stone monuments there were here. They're vestiges of old animism. Anyway, nice to see we made it here safely enough. It's a nice hiding spot for Valimar, too. I doubt anyone will find him here. Valimar? Anisha must have used up his remaining mana. My guess is it'll be 2 or 3 more days before he wakes up again. In other words, we're stuck here. As far as I'm aware, this region's under the complete control of the Alliance, too. We're gonna need to stay alert. Yeah, well, no time like the present, like they say. We should start looking for any kinds of clues relating to my classmates. Got it. Let's make our way out of the park, then. Welcome to Lunaria Nature Park. This is somewhere that we were briefly at in Trails of Cold Steel 1. Very briefly. It was our first real big dungeon, actually. If I recall correctly. And maybe second, past the tutorial old schoolhouse. But, once again, it returns as an early point in our adventure. Now, Kobo mentions a Gordius class that could talk. That is in reference to Pater Mater out of Trails into the Sky, SC specifically, the second chapter. Another game in the series. I will eventually get to Trails in the Sky. They are more they're more 2D. They're basically 2D versions of this, but the big thing is eventually I will have a big project with Trails into Reverie, I believe. Trails into Reverie, which is combining the stories of Into the Sky, Cold Steel, and I think one other. There are a lot of games in the Legend of Heroes series. A lot of sub-arcs going on. Cold Steel, I think, is kind of just the big one that really broke out because it is a 3D game. But still, I will eventually get into the entire series. Still somehow familiar. You notice it too. The higher elements seem to be present here. Like in the old schoolhouse. That's time, space, and mirage, right? The 3 that aren't usually active? What do you think's causing that to happen? Who knows? Something's clearly out of balance, but beyond that, I couldn't say. The monster's significantly more dangerous compared to before, too. I can sense it. Gonna need to tread lightly. Gotcha. Very rarely you will see where the places where there are the higher elements. These also add some more bonuses to your potential.
Sure thing.
They add more potential turn modifiers. It's an interesting life for an Orban charging station. It doesn't look like your everyday type. Hey, station's a station. I'm guessing it'll still be a good point to return to if we need it for break. Ones that have the yellow top on them, Orban charging stations that is, will allow you to modify your Orban customized weapons. They work as essentially a blacksmith. Is just what I'm gonna codify as. They're a blacksmith spot. But yes, the higher elements are active here. So that means that, normally if we look at, if we look at Orthon, we see his elemental efficacy. He does have the ground, water, fire, and air. But now enemies here will also have weaknesses to space, mirage, and time.
Now's our chance. Let's get him!
Ready to go.
So for example, if we check out this Blade Horn,
My turn.
it's a weird name. Oh well, we can do a little bit of damage to it. We can see that there are some potential weaknesses to space, mirage, and time.
Ready to go.
In addition, there are a lot of pretty big, pretty important, and pretty useful turn enders, or turn modifiers.
You nailed it, Reem.
Thanks. That was all you.
Yeah, that is the first of the enemies here. Of course, back in Trails of Cold Steel 1, we were very weak, so these enemies were like level 10 or so, the enemies here.
Oh, a chest. I wonder what's inside.
Now this,
Enemy sighted.
two-chain battle. This is something that I think might be introduced. I don't think it was really something in
Sure thing.
Cold Steel 1. But basically, sometimes you will run into enemies who, if there are enemies who are close enough to each other, then they will sometimes, basically, they'll gang up. And you'll fight them right after another.
Let's move.
It's actually pretty helpful because it can give you a higher tactical bonus.
Now!
Right there, we'll do a rush. No reason not to.
Leave it to me.
And we'll get the analyze on the purple ooze. Yeah. These guys are an annoying type of enemy that will drain you of your stats. These aren't the worst ones. There are some that are very... Because these guys aren't very evasive. There's another type that is pretty similar that is incredibly evasive. And they will focus on draining your EP, draining your CP. Draining HP is not as big of a deal. And obviously, it means that, they'll live longer, but, it's fine.
You nailed it, Reem.
Thanks. That was all you.
See? Perfectly fine there.
Oh, a chest. I wonder what's inside.
This chest will get a stone brooch, which I believe is immunity to petrified, yes. None of those are really that good. I think I've mentioned this before, I am not the biggest fan of things that just prevent one status. Obviously, they're better than nothing, and I do remember at least one fight that it is basically required that you have immunity to one specific status, but it is an optional battle, so no worries there. But a lot of times, if it's just an accessory that only gives immunity to one status, I don't like doing that.
Let's move.
So, yeah.
Marcus,
And here we get Poly Jellies as well as, what are they exactly? Salsa Pandas. I knew it was something Panda. I mean, obviously something Panda. Salsa Pandas are actually pretty annoying. They have a high chance of inflicting Feint, and Feint is a very deadly status. I've mentioned it before.
Ready to go.
Feint will...
Time to stop holding back.
Feint guarantees crit on the next time that they attack, as well as it will it guarantees a crit, and it also prevents you from moving. It's an incredibly dangerous status. Be wary of Feint. That is actually also the one status that I do. The battle that I recall being really a massive pain in the ass, it was because of Feint. So some Feint immunity could be helpful, but a lot of other statuses you can easily work around. Just Feint is one it's too dangerous
Now's our
to
chance. Let's... My turn.
really let go.
Second form. Gale!
Okay. Sadly, we do only have one with a seal.
Sure thing.
And we can just...
Here you go.
throw a golden sphere, I guess. Bop those two. We do take out one of them at least, so we only take one hit, but that is enough to remove us from unscathed.
Now.
And I'm actually going to keep my bravery
My
points.
turn.
There is a boss battle coming up that
Ready
is
to go.
pretty difficult. So I will want to
That's
save
it
up for
for
that.
you.
It is very obvious when boss battles are in this game. So there is rarely any point in time where you're going to be blindsided by a boss battle. But I still do recommend saving before every boss battle. Again, it's really obvious when there is a boss battle. So just save beforehand because you can't just like back out of a fight. You are stuck in it. And I had that issue a couple times.
Oh, I could probably fish here.
Right here, the fishing spot that I actually kind of forgot about. But still, our first fishing spot over in the Celdic region. And right away, I think this is something that we've already had. Swordtail. I've fished enough in this game to kind of know.
Not bad.
Well, okay, never mind, we haven't. It's the Cassigan, that's what I was thinking of. Cassigan is a pretty similar one, but Swordtail, very easy to get. The only person that does have the angler points is Annabelle, so next time we're in Ymir, we'll have to turn in points. I was not looking when it switched over. Right here, we get a fighter, is it? Yes, fighter. Already, we can't afford the fighter badge, fittingly enough, for what we just caught, although I think we could afford it after we got the Swordtail. Fine, Swordtail badge was in our first one. They changed things up between games for what enemies are
Not bad.
your ones that are getting, you thinking, got a new material there, very rare pickup, but we are at 22 minutes, so that will do it for this time, and next time, we'll continue our exploration through Lunaria Nature Park, but until then, see you guys later.